First of all, let me address what might be an obvious question. Am I here only because of the extraordinary efforts that Mike Campbell made on my behalf when he chaired my South Carolina campaign? That's not why I'm here. Now, I'm grateful for that. But the reason I'm here is because during the course of my getting to know Mike and his mother and his wife, his children, we spent so many hours, days, weeks together, literally traversing all over this great state. And you spend a lot of time with people and you get to know them. You get to know what they think, you get to know their heart. You're with them not just in the public events where you're out front and the cameras are on and the microphones are live, but you get to know them in the car when you've got a 3-hour car ride and you're just talking about the things that matter to you. You find out what a person is all about, what makes them tick. You go to dinner with them late at night and you visit and you talk things that aren't political. And in the course of that, what I found was that I just don't know of anybody that I have greater respect for, admiration for, and deep appreciation for a commitment to public service than I do in Mike Campbell. He's a true friend, a true friend. The lieutenant governor's job here, like it is in most states, presides over the Senate, but there's something unique about South Carolina. In South Carolina, the lieutenant governor has an extraordinarily important role in running the office of the aging. And that would be important under any circumstances. But with the changing demographics of the country, and specifically in South Carolina, with a population that is increasingly graying because so many people want to come to South Carolina, it's a great compliment to the state that people want to retire here. They're coming here to live once they retire. The Office of Aging then becomes a far more important part of looking ahead at the future and making long-term plans how the state will meet those needs and how the state will benefit from seeing these people come. One other aspect of aging is that many people in their aging years will also be confronted with disease. The disease of Alzheimer's is one that has touched every family. Right now my own family is dealing with it with my wife's mother, who is in the advanced stages of Alzheimer's and is in an Alzheimer's unit in Little Rock where she lives now. By the year 2050, under the current trends, Alzheimer's, just that one disease, will cost $20.7 trillion. $20.7 trillion. The country is going to be unable to sustain that cost. That's more than our national debt is, and that's one disease. The Office of Aging, in dealing with this, hopefully will be one of the national leaders in helping to push for a national curative strategy, not just to say, let's figure out how to raise the money to care, but what if we really put our focus on curing Alzheimer's, preventing it? Think of the economic impact that would have. Now, why would Mike Campbell be the right guy for that? Because, like so many other South Carolina families, he's seen it firsthand with his own father. His mother was the caregiver for Governor Campbell in those last years of his life. This state loved Carroll Campbell for good cause. He was one of its most remarkable leaders. And in those last years of his life, as he struggled with Alzheimer's, his family saw what it did to him and how it impacted their whole family and all that that means. Nobody's going to be able to serve with any greater appreciation, any greater compassion for the families of this state who are going through the issue of long-term care, whether it's Alzheimer's, some other form of dementia, or perhaps maybe just long-term care from debilitating illness, be it diabetes, heart disease, or any other cause that makes it very difficult for a family to be sustained. So for all of those reasons, Mike Campbell has the remarkable preparation to be Lieutenant Governor. He has seen government at a level very few people ever have. He's grown up in the world of the governor's mansion, the state capitol. This is not something he's going to go into and having to, for the first time, see his eyes open. They're open from day one. But he also has that wonderful balance of not only having seen government up close and personal, but having made his own living, not in government, but having made his own living operating a business. And understanding the challenges that business people face every day and realizing that sometimes their toughest competition is from their own government. And somebody who can be the champion for business owners and for employees like Mike can, and bringing all those other skills, for me this is an easy call. And I'm very, very happy, delighted, and proud to stand with Mike Campbell today and just joyfully endorse him to be South Carolina's next Lieutenant Governor.
And, I tell you one thing, just to elaborate a little bit on what the governor said, as far as it pertains to Alzheimer's, one thing that we certainly want to focus on as well is, because we are on the cusp of being able to cure this disease, and we are, there's so many medical advancements, we're going to get to the point where we can cure this disease. In the process, and this goes exactly to what the governor was speaking about, we have to make sure in the process we take care of the caregivers and adopt programs, because too often the caregivers end up becoming patients themselves. And I saw the toll firsthand what it took on my mother, and not only from the humanistic standpoint of what that does to a family and the financial burden it imposes on a family and the heartache it brings to them on having to care for two individuals, the additional stress that it applies to, and the burden it applies to our Medicaid and Medicare system that is already overwhelmed as it is. So just by being preventative and taking care of those who are taking care of these very vulnerable people, then it's not only the right thing to do for them, it's also the right thing to do from the government standpoint to make sure that that you're not creating another patient that we have to take care of. And it's just it's the right thing to do. His exact words were, "I would go to hell with a squirt gun and to go to battle for the Campbell family." And I really appreciated that.
Mike, thank you very much. I love you and Iris and all of your family, and I'm so excited to be just with you in the campaign.
God bless you.